What's up, guys? I'm here to remind you, right? In case you forgot, to take care of yourself. Do a little spiritual bath, some Epsom salt, or just regular sea salt. Really, the salt just prevents, protects all these nasty ass energies roaming around. Especially now, right? Like the full moon is like tomorrow. That's when all these fake spiritualists and people that just think they do some type of magic. That's when they all gather up together and they just they just drown in their own nasty, sticky energy. But look, word of advice. Take time for yourself. Because that's what kills them, right? When you relax, when you take time for yourself, that's what kills these karmics. That's what kills them. On the inside and on the outside, it's noticeable too. You can just look at their eyes and see the anger and see the bitterness through there. Because that's the only thing you can see. Anger and jealousy and bitterness and maliciousness and evilness. Because they don't have a soul. They're wandering this earth without a soul, without any guidance. That is why they do what they do. That is why they hate how they hate. Because there's nothing guidance. Like God has already forgotten about them. God doesn't give a fuck about these people. Let me tell you that. And why is that? Because they've had so many chances to stop doing whatever it is that they've been doing. They've had so many chances to rectify their mistakes, but no. They never did that. Because they thought that they were going to get away with whatever it was that they were trying to do, right? They thought they were going to keep a divine being like me trapped forever. And that's including my family. That's what they thought. I blocked all of them, not only technologically, but out of my life forever. And it feels so amazing. That is how I'll tell you that. Like, God does not want you to just sit back and allow people to disrupt your life. Sit back and allow people to create lies. Sit back and allow people to smear your name. No, God wants you to stand up and defend yourself. And look, like I said before, I don't watch any news. I don't watch any, I'm not on social media looking for things, right? Or seeing what people are saying about me. I don't do any of that stuff. And I don't have to prove it to anyone because it is proven. Okay? But the fact that I know who did all this, the fact that I know what they're saying about me, should prove to you the true powers of God. It should prove to you my psychic abilities. It should prove to you my spirituality. It should prove to you everything. And not only the fact that I know that, right? But the results are there. These people are sick. These people have STDs. These people are mentally ill. These people don't know what the fuck to do because they see me alive. They see me powerful. That's what kills them inside. Not only that, right? But for the longest time, I tried to just stay in the light and only use my powers for the light. But no, God has allowed me to see how powerfully He created me. That is the reason why I have the protection that I do. Not only here in the physical, but in the heavens and in the underworld. Now, when people ask me, I'm like, where are you from? Now I'm just saying, I'm from Lemuria. Because really, look it up. Like, people want to talk about, like, oh, he can't be divine. He can't be a divine feminine because there is no male that's divine feminine. Girl, have you looked up at what Lemurians really are? Have you looked up at the history? Have you looked up how Lemurians look like? They're androgynous, right? Meaning that they are the perfect balance between feminine and masculine energy. Look it up if you haven't. That is why I have this connection to the sea, to the ocean as well. And that is why these people can't do shit. And that is why that family was not really my family. I was put as a chosen one. I was put on their path because God knew that these people were not going to change. God knew everything they were doing for generations and generations and generations, keeping people stuck, stealing destinies from people, sacrificing children, sacrificing animals. God knew that. So God allowed me to be born physically in this 3D life in that family. Because God knew I was going to awaken. And God knew that once I awakened, I was going to be able to see everything for what it truly was. And that's how you know that blood is not really... Look, come on, we are not... Well, not everyone. Like, these people were put on earth to serve their karma. And I brought it. And I was the one that brought it. Not only to my family, but to everyone that's been working against me. And it can no longer, the truth can no longer be hidden, right? The truth can no longer be denied. All these people demonizing me is just bullshit, and everyone knows that. You want to know why they demonize me? Because everything I've has been true. From my grandmother falling and having all these wounds on her body after she betrayed me over and over again. From my mother having cancer and all these sicknesses that doctors don't even know about. From my brother having anxiety and depression and this and that. From my father having lung issues. Can't even fucking breathe. Of course, how can you breathe when you thought you could sacrifice your own son? That goes to my mother too, right? In Cuba, I told you guys about this. She literally had a whole ass ritual to sacrifice me. And I remember it. At my grandfather's house. Because they're from the dark. But look. I have knowledge and wisdom of the light, which I try to stay on, right? But I also have knowledge and wisdom of the dark. And now, I'm no longer afraid to use my powers and my ability. And look, I don't gotta threaten anybody or anything because I don't do violence. I don't touch people. But just know, that when you fuck with me, you're fucking with so many other beings. And that I no longer gotta explain. That is seen, that is visible. And I'm grateful. Grateful for everything, really. Also, guys, make sure you know the importance of your hair. Your hair is like antennas to the spiritual world. That's why your hair is sacred. Don't allow anyone to just touch your hair. Don't allow anyone to just touch your head. Your hair is so powerful. It is how you can receive messages even better. Like I said, antennas. Which is why I felt guided to cut my hair once I got kicked out of my place in LA, right? Because I'm not gonna mention any names, but you already know. I was guided to just literally cut all of my hair, and I didn't have it this long. No, I had it like up to here. And why is that? Because these people were using my hair to use as part of their little rituals, to get some type of DNA from me. But I cut my hair for a reason, right? Because now none of these people have my genetically modified DNA. Come on, after all of the inner work that I've done, after all of the molecular alterations that I've done through meditation, come on. That's why these people can't do shit anymore. And they never will again. Promise.